The time has finally come for me to build my Blue Dream Shrimp a new home. I'm super excited to share it with you, so let's get into it. The tank I'm using is just a second-hand tank with a frosted background on it. I'll make sure I put the dimensions on the screen. Now, in every single one of my tanks, I always include lava rock somewhere in the tank. This rock is covered in these tiny holes and is very porous, which creates more surface area for beneficial bacteria to build up and grow. It is also inert, meaning it won't affect your water parameters, and it also makes for a nice decoration. In this tank, however, I'll be using it as a base layer under the sand. Next is the sand. This is just pool filter sand I got from my local supply shop. I like this sand as it isn't super fine, so it doesn't compact easily. It also has a nice natural look in my opinion, and bonus, it's inexpensive. I'm just going to put a heap of the sand in, and honestly, probably didn't need this much, but I already have committed to it, so. Next, I'm just flattening it out with a scraper and angling it towards the back. This creates a sense of depth, and also because this tank will be on the top of my stand, this angle will mean I'll actually be able to see inside of it. For Hardscape, I've collected these pieces of driftwood over the last little while. I like creating something that I like to look at. So when you're doing this, just keep moving things around until you are happy with what you've created. Next is plants, which I've collected out of my shrimp tank and some of my other tanks. I have some narrow-leaf Java fern, some broadleaf Java fern, some Java moss, and some Nana Petite Anubias. To attach the moss to the driftwood, I'm just using some black thread and Gorilla Glue. Making some dots of the glue along the driftwood, place some Java moss on it, and then wrap with thread. I'll speed this up because it did take me some time. Next, I'm just going to place some Java ferns around. Some of these have already been attached to lava rocks, while others I will glue to the wood using the super glue again. Now, super glue is aquarium safe as long as it is 100% cyanoacrylate glue. I hope I said that right. Live plants are so good for the health of your aquarium. I used to be really scared to use them, but now every one of my tanks have plants of some sort now. If you are just getting into live plants, each of the ones I've mentioned in this video are great beginner plants. Now that the tank is planted, I'm really excited to fill it up, check parameters, and get my shrimp in. Right now, I'm regretting not grabbing a plate or paper towel or something to try and not disrupt the sand and set up as much, but oh well, we'll fix it later. I wanted to mention I will be treating my water with Secam Prime to remove any chlorine in my water, and I will also be using an already cycled filter. It is here disaster struck on the tank. The driftwood was not as waterlogged as I thought. Okay, we're back. So, where I left this video last time was as I was filling up the tank, the driftwood was floating. Now, I couldn't actually get to the driftwood with the camera where it is, so I just stopped the video and I grabbed some river rocks, which I got from Bunnings, like a hardware store. Make sure you give them a very, very good wash. And I just strategically placed them on the wood just to weigh it down. I also added some more moss there. So floating driftwood is something that I suspected might happen because this wood hasn't actually been in water for quite a while. So it's an easy fix, just weigh it down and in a little while you won't even need the rocks there if you really don't like them. Alright, another thing I've done is actually test the parameters of the new shrimp tank and the old shrimp tank, just to see if they're the same or different, or if I need to change anything before adding the shrimp. They all look good, but even so, I will drip acclimate the shrimp just because they are very, very sensitive to water changes. And it's going to be stressful enough going into a brand new home. So drip acclimate them, get them used to it, and then be finally time to add them to their new home. Now that the tank is fixed and the parameters are checked, it is time to acclimate the shrimp. I have this jug with some of the water from the current tank, and I'm going to slowly drip the water from the new tank into the jug using a piece of airline tubing with a knot in it. To start the siphon, I'm just going old fashioned and using my mouth to start it. I'm going to add about 10 shrimp in and let this drip slowly over the next few hours. It's time to add them into the tank. I'm so happy with how this has turned out. Over the next few weeks, I'll be slowly moving them from the old tank into this one. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I have. I would love it if you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.